This time on Inside Utah Hockey Club. Team owner Ryan Smith sits down with Jeff Rainier to reflect on the inaugural season and project the future.
These organizations could go on a pretty amazing run here for the next decade.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me excited. And we want to win championships.
The ice requires a team to make sure it's ready to play. Let's go for a ride on the Delta Center Zamboni.
This goes faster than 6 miles an hour.
I was like mowing the yard a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit like mowing the yard.
Science of making ice.
In only his second season in the National Hockey League, Logan Cooley finds himself in good company with some of the faces of the league.
To be honest, I didn't really know there was even a stat like that, but it's obviously cool. It's cool to have your name with some elite players, guys that, Kane's going to be a Hall of Famer. Anytime you can have your name with them, it's a super special feeling.
Plus, the vision for the new Utah Hockey Club headquarters is underway.
There's nothing we've seen like this in sports in this state, where you've got a Big Four franchise with this much access to the community. And I think that's what inspires dreams.
We'll show you all of that and more on this edition of Inside Utah Hockey Club.
1, 2, 3.
Right now.
Welcome to another edition of Inside Utah Hockey Club. I'm Jeff Rainier. We kicked off the inaugural season with a look ahead with Utah Hockey Club Governor Ryan Smith. Now as the season winds down, we sat down with him once again to reflect on the memorable debut year of having the NHL in Utah.
What a year it's been for Utah sports, man. What's this year been like for you?
It's been pretty chaotic. We've launched a hockey brand. We made a huge bet with the NHL. Not only did the NHL make a bet to bring it to Utah, but we made a bet, just not knowing exactly how it would go. It's been fun. It's been good. I think the best years are ahead of the state when it comes to sports.
What's it like seeing people walk around town with hockey gear?
I think we didn't get that far in the planning of all of this, but it's been super cool. And I think it's been really cool seeing a group of guys come into the state who no one knew anything about, and now like the narratives and the fans, and they've all followed along to some sort of persona with each of them, whether it's like the Eggs with Sergei or the Shades with Gunther and Heller as our cat. Like they didn't know any of that less than a year ago, and now these guys can't go anywhere.
Crowd on their feet. Nothing new there.
You said a year ago, Utah shows up. I heard you. I didn't know if I believed you. And boy, have they shown up to hockey games this year. Has that exceeded your expectation?
I mean, it was the hope, right? I remember, next week it'll be a year that my wife and I walked into a conference room in Arizona and basically told 70 strangers, you're all moving to Utah. And that's hard. Like, we didn't know much what to say. And I remember getting on the plane afterwards going, we can't let them just have that uncertainty there. We've got to bring that group out, and getting on the phone with Delta, our partner, saying, we got to get a plane down there and bring them. And then the hope was that the city would show up. And, that moment, which you were there, everyone was there, where, we had 6,000 people waiting outside. The guys came through. I call that the greatest sporting event I've ever been to by a long way. And there was no sports being played.
Utah, how we doing?
It was just Utah being Utah. And they met what we had brought halfway, and we kind of handed that group over to the community in that moment.
Once I saw the upper deck starting to fill up, I was like, okay, they're here. It's been an amazing season with great moments. Do you have some that stick out?
I mean, I've got a first goal puck sitting on my shelf that was pretty cool.
None of this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Ryan and all his sacrifice. So this is the game puck first win.
I'll never forget that we had planned that opening night. We had Shabuzi out on the road, like ESPN was there. I was sitting there next to Gary Bettman, and And then I was like, oh, we got to go play a game. And there's so much that can go wrong. I mean, these guys had not played in front of a crowd like that.
Kesselring drops it, score! Dylan Gunther, the first in Utah Hockey Club history.
That first goal went in, and like I remember Gary turning to me and going, you don't know how big that was. Like, and then to get a win that night, that was pretty powerful. But there's so many moments. There's so many moments from, even recently watching Veggie go on a run and, being in every game has kind of been a playoff game for this organization. And a lot of these people are in this spot for the first time, and that's been pretty incredible.
This is a community asset. It's a community team, and everyone's going to have a part of it.
You talked a lot about this being a community asset. We were at the practice facility earlier today. You've talked about putting money towards new ice rinks. Why is it important to have such a community partnership with Utah?
Well, look, we're the youngest demographic in the country. We have more kids than everyone. And, these kids like to recreate, right? The families like to get out. And, we've seen firsthand, like our junior jazz program. There's 70,000 kids that play junior jazz. That's multiples more than any other state when it comes to an NBA franchise. So if we look at where we're starting in hockey, where on one hand you've got the most courts per capita as anywhere in the U.S. and I think the world for that matter. And then we're starting, and everything's pretty much ice contingent. We've got to get the ice built, and we've got to get it built quickly. And then I think the rest will take care of itself. And I have no doubt that it's not going to be, one or two people from Utah that are going to be playing in the NHL if we can get the ice built.
Year one was such a whirlwind. I mean, from bringing the team here to getting the Arena Ray, everything else. Are you looking forward to year two where things might be a little easier?
I don't think it's going to be easier. I think that you look at what we've got going with the arena renovation, you look at our practice renovation, I think this is just normal. This is going to be SCG going forward.
How gratifying is it for you to know that the AHL is here to stay? I mean, they've proven that the fans love them, the community loves them.
It's clear that we can do big things here. I think the city and the state and everyone's kind of partnered well together. It's about, helping, update downtown Salt Lake, even outside of the arena, everything else that we've got going. And I think people will see that. And what I love is people here, they're good. They're good people, and I think that's, it's something that is inspiring. I'm inspired more days than not about the people of Utah. And that's pretty impressive because, I've lived in a lot of places where sometimes that's not the case, right?
What would you like to say to the fans that have shown up?
These organizations could go on a pretty amazing run here for the next decade.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me excited. And we want to win championships. I just think we have the best fans in the world because they show up for everything, and that's pretty cool to be a part of.
Thanks to Ryan Smith for his time. We look forward to seeing the future of hockey in Utah. Hey, we're riding the Zamboni next on Inside Utah Hockey Club.
I think this is probably the best job in the world.
Utah, please welcome the Ice Crew, presented by True Fruit.
Man, it looks like you really enjoy your job.
Oh, I love my job. Being out there with the players, being surrounded by 16,000 fans. I grew up playing hockey, and this is everything I could have ever imagined.
His skating skills are impressive, with speed and his big finish, spinning with the bucket before he leaves the ice.
A lot of people think I do it for the flair, which I do a little bit, but I also do it because it slows down the bucket. Just slowing down the momentum, it's much easier for me.
Tim started his ice crew career with the Florida Panthers. His job as a flight attendant brought him to Utah 3 years ago, hoping the NHL would follow him.
As soon as I saw that the team was confirmed for Utah, I was looking online every single day for this job. I just love it. I love being on NHL ice, so I had to have it.
Fans love him. They've given him gifts.
This thing hasn't left my side. I've been wearing this everywhere.
And how about this doll with its own bucket and working wheels?
A little me.
Players on the team have also noticed. He now has a connection with Nick Bjugstad.
My mom came to visit about a month ago. she didn't mention anything about the game. We were driving home, and she just couldn't get over the guy that was pirouetting, shoveling the ice. So I took note, and I've been watching, and I'm pretty impressed. So yeah, I'm glad the fans are enjoying it, and my mom especially loved it.
Nick Bukestad was my favorite player growing up. Actually, growing up in Florida, drafted in Florida. I had his jersey when I was growing up, so it means a lot to me that he's noticing, his family's noticing.
They're now a fan of you.
And Nick Bukestad will get credited for the goal.
Honestly, it means so much to me that people enjoy what I do. You know, this is an entertainment company, and I do love being like a small part of that entertainment.
Talk about a star being born. Great to see him do his thing on the ice. Same goes for the ice operations crew. One of the coolest things in sports is the Zamboni. I took a ride on the ice here at Delta Center to learn more about the science of creating ice.
This feels faster than 6 miles an hour.
We're going 6.6 right now.
It's a science driving that thing too. I always got told it's easy to drive, hard to master, because there's a lot of controls that are going on, from knowing when to put too much water down, when to dig a little deeper on the cut.
It seems simple because it's going so slow.
It's only 7 miles an hour, but there's a lot going on.
The ice operations crew puts in a lot of work and a lot of hours during the season, keeping the ice at the right temperature and the right thickness that meets NHL standards. And that sheet of ice is always there, underneath the basketball court for the Jazz or a concert venue.
It's a science. I mean, it's hard. There's times when we have to uncover from a concert and we have to cut off a lot because there's beer stains or whatever seep through the subfloor. But other than that, it's pretty much we come in, shave it down, build back up when we can, and try and brighten up the lines and logos as much as possible.
Tell me about cutting. What does that mean?
So when we take the ZAM out, we shave off a layer and build up behind it. Essentially, we're washing the ice in front of it, cutting the ice, and laying more new ice behind the machine.
So you say you want it to be about 1.5 inches?
Yes.
How much water is out on the
About
ice?
16,000 gallons of water.
That's a lot of water.
I saw it firsthand, up close on my Zamboni ride, as they made what they call polished concrete before the Utah Hockey Club took the ice.
I was like mowing the yard a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit like mowing the yard. It's you just got to keep your line straight and make sure you're hitting spots that you haven't hit yet. You don't want to overdo the ice. You just want to hit every spot once and then get off.
Science of making ice.
Science of making ice.
While the players on the Utah Hockey Club have had to work their way up to be good enough to play in the NHL,
Stay within the lines.
it works the same for the members of the ice operations crew. They've paid their dues to be at this level.
It's a lot harder to mow an outfield than it is to do this, I'd say.
I think this is probably the best job in the world. It's very, very fun. You get to be around the guys every day, and you get to see, especially at this level, you get to see the best athletes on the planet.
Do you guys kind of feel like rock stars when you're on the Zamboni?
No.
I think people look at you like you might be.
Nah, I don't think so. We're just doing our job.
We'll look up every once in a while. People will be taking your video.
We try not to. That's the one that might make you nervous, seeing all 16,000 people in the stands.
I think a lot of people would like to be in your seat.
Probably.
There's no doubt it's a hard job, but at the end of the day, they can look out at the smooth sheet of ice that they built and feel like it's a job well done.
Just the accomplishment of creating this day in, day out, or even the changeovers from basketball to concerts to all this stuff, it's satisfaction, I guess, and that's what drives us to keep doing what we're doing.
Well, we can cross that off the bucket list. Thanks to the guys for the ride along. At 20 years old, Logan Cooley is already establishing a reputation as a future face of the game. That's next on Inside Utah Hockey Club.
For a very skilled guy, he's gritty, he gets in the mix, and that's something I think everybody appreciates about him too. He wants to win, he's a competitor.
In only year 2 of the NHL, Logan Cooley's name sits with some elite company. This season, he joins Brady Tkachuk, Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, and Patrick Kane as the 5th active U.S.-born player to record multiple 20-goal seasons at 20 or younger.
It's cool to have your name with some elite players, guys that, Kane going to be a Hall of Famer. It's anytime you can have your name with them, it's a super special feeling.
He's really coming into his own. He's wanting to go out there and be a difference maker. He's making plays when he's on the ice. He has lots of confidence in himself, and he's just going to continue to get better.
Logan Cooley! And the smile is back!
He's an elite player. He's going to be a very, very, very good player pretty soon. He's still learning. He's still very young.
Cooley scores! Logan Cooley! Pizza pie in front!
He's a gamer for sure. Since day one, you could see all the talent. He's quiet a little bit, but, he works tremendously hard and he really cares.
And it's a valuable asset for the Utah Hockey Club to have a player like Logan, not just have the ability to play those kinds of minutes, but also being the 96th percentile of speed in the NHL. Absolutely lethal.
It's an important part of my game. I like to use my speed to create offense or, get back on the back check, little things like that.
Even last year, he was a hell of a player. I think the impact that he has on the game with his speed and playmaking ability is noticed every night. So it's a lot of fun having him on this team.
He's got all the tools that you could ever want in a hockey player. He plays hard. For a very skilled guy, he's gritty, he gets in the mix, and that's something I think everybody appreciates about him too. He wants to win, he's a competitor, so yeah, I don't want to give him too much.
And the decisiveness and deception from Cooley was sensational.
It's fun to score in the big games and the big moments. That's what players you want to be in, and again, it's special, and I'm always trying to score.
That's what we love about him. He's competitive. A guy who's competitive like him, he wants to make a difference every night. When you talk to him about being patient, he looks like you look at your grandfather when he tells you a story about in the old day. He has no time for that. He wants right here, right now. He wants to make the difference.
There's still a lot of work to go, and obviously it's just my second year, but the things that you take from year after year, it's obviously cool to see, and it's something that I use to continue to work on my game.
Logan Cooley, what a talent. There's always new things happening with this team, whether it's a new practice facility or a new way to engage fans here at Delta Center before the game starts. We'll tell you what's happening next on Inside Utah Hockey Club.
We want to be able to have those fun butterfly feelings every time they come into a game, and that gets them excited right before puck drop.
We might as well just rename this place Sportstown, because there's going to be some cool stuff that is going to exist here. And I think this is the first part.
The Utah Hockey Club completed a major milestone in the construction of a 115,000 square foot practice and training facility at the Shops at Southtown, which they believe will be one of the best team headquarters in the National Hockey League.
Brand new is always a good thing. I think it'll be right up there, hopefully top 5.
There will be 2 NHL standard regulation ice surfaces and will include all the training and medical facilities and team offices. When you combine the upward growth of this team with this state-of-the-art building, it should attract top players in the NHL to want to come and play in Utah.
I think we're definitely a destination. I think we already feel that in hockey, but we've got to continue earning that. This is the next step. I mean, there's a lot more. I think the arena remodel and everything else that's coming around there, it's all just part of a big puzzle that we've got to go put together.
This place will also be open to the public.
The community will be able to come in and watch practice. The boys will get off the ice, and youth hockey will jump on this ice.
The 2 ice rinks will be available to the public when not in use by the team, which will help grow the game in Utah, and who knows, even develop players who could someday play on the U.S. hockey team.
We can play a massive part in that, and that's pretty unique to kind of have a hand in the development of what could be part of the USA team in the future. That's how big this vision's going to become, and I think everyone sees it. It's not a matter of if, but just when. There's nothing we've seen like this in sports in this state, where you've got a Big 4 franchise with this much access to the community. And I think that's what inspires dreams.
This is the place where we're going to interact with the community the most. This is the place where we're going to inspire the next generation of kids in Utah to play the game of hockey. And this is where we're going to put down all of the habits and the identity of this team for the future as we pursue a Stanley Cup for Utah.
The expectation is the new practice facility will open up in Sandy on September 1st. Right now, fans are enjoying a new experience here at Delta Center to build up their excitement leading up to puck drop.
It's time!
At the beginning of the season, we have kind of our own list of, okay, what are we trying to bring to fans? We want to bring awe. We want to bring excitement and wonder. We want to be able to have those fun butterfly feelings every time they come into a game, and that gets them excited right before puck drop. That's the challenge as a creator whenever we're coming up with these ideas, is like, okay, what's going to bring that? So for our new open, we really wanted to create this movement from the top to the bottom that brings your eye down to the projection. This projection is a new element that we brought in this year, just kind of going back and forth between the Jumbotron, the projection. With hockey, we really wanted to up our game. Essentially, the idea for all of this was, the energy of hockey coming to Utah for the first time brought this shockwave, that kind of took over the state in a lot of ways. And so we wanted to kind of recreate that in a fun way, always utilizing the mountains because they're to the east of us. They're this grounded element that is a big part of who we are here in Utah. And so we always want the storytelling to kind of start in the mountains, and it moves its way to Salt Lake City into the Delta Center.
That will do it for this season of Inside Utah Hockey Club. Thanks to Jeffrey Sanders, David Piper, Rachel Borse, and Cassie Batnich for all their contributions this season, and for the other folks who helped make this so special. We're already looking forward to year number 2 of having the NHL here in Utah. See you then.